certainly Catherine's still a strong pick on its own. Vox taken away as well. So that's kind of 2 of the 3 combo pieces in TSM's hand, but then kind of the central combo piece in the hands of Immortals. So neither really getting the combo as they would want.
Yeah, it's not quite going to be that massive area denial that we see so frequently, but with the Vox there, obviously leaves the Baptiste open to be either a captain or a jungler, and so Immortals are going to have to pick a composition that, keeping that in mind, that they're going to have to contend with this Baptiste regardless, but there might be another damage source coming out as well from the side of Team Solo Mid.
So Gwen would be pretty good here. Again, Gwen is good into a Baptiste pick because he's starting to become meta, and Gwen is actually wasn't nerfed that hard. She's still very viable, especially you build the Baron build on her. Any weapon power laner with the Baron build is going to do a ton of damage. You have a cat stun, you have a Gwen Aces High. I would love to see Gwen come out from them, but they're taking a go with the Ringo here, which is fine. Ringo is stronger than Vox early, but late game Vox definitely outscales him, but they do have the Cath here. I think the last pick potentially could be maybe Koshka if they want to go really try hard here and push the early game really hard.
I mean, I really hope they want to go try hard here, to be quite honest, with where they are in the standings. They definitely need to. Koshka is certainly an option for them. It's something that T-Tigers has played a lot.
There we go, Samuel comes out.
Samuel will come on. And now it's time for TSM to finish off this composition. This looks pretty meta right now. This is the most meta thing we've seen out of TSM in a while. Can they finish it off? Can they go for a full meta composition?
Yeah, well, their only options left would be to go for that Lyra or an Arden to make it the kind of full meta composition. But I'm actually very surprised that Lyra has made it all the way through. Obviously, with the captain first pick, it makes it a lot more likely to see Lyra make it all the way through. But they could take the Lyra, or I would assume it's either going to be Lyra, Arden, or a jungler for Von C to try and contend with the Samuel.
We'll see what they are going to go for in the end. They've got plenty of time to still think about this one. Suijay, what would you expect to see TSM pick up?
Well, you need to outrange the Samuel, so either Kestrel here or you need to dive him. So Ozo, Taka, Koshka would all be good picks. And they're going to go with Finn again. They're going to really practice this combination. Well, Finn is good into Cath because he can't be stunned. And he's going to be able to keep Cath away from both the carries here. And he can also body block the Samuel, Malice, and Verdict as well if he builds more shield.
So definitely that kind of brick wall of defense in front of his team so they can, stack up the soul shots and all that kind of good stuff on the backline. So how are we feeling about the compositions? What are the win conditions for these guys, Bacon?
I mean, the win condition for Immortals is pretty straightforward. Just poke with the Samuel a bit and get yourself stacked up. Allow Ringo to use the advantage he has with his range over the Vox and try and just whittle your opponents down before going for that all-in.
Yeah, they have to poke with Samuel. Again, Samuel is skill shot and he gets body blocked, so they need to just poke and focus the front line, whoever it is, and then play to their win condition. Because if they're trying to try to dive past the Finn, they're going to lose every time. All
right, so making sure that when the Finn is out front and out of position, like we saw a couple of times last game, they actually focus him down, get that damage in while they can. It's time to get on into the second game of this series. Hashtag Vainglory on Twitter to let us know whether you want TSM to get back into this series or if you want to see a 2-0 Immortals victory here. Will TSM be knocked out in the quarters 2 weeks in a row? It's time to find out as we head onto the Halcyon Fold.
Ladies and gentlemen, Immortals versus Team Solo Mid. And this is going to be a huge matchup here. If Immortals can find a victory, they could just knock TSM off here in day one. I feel like they can do it. And we're going to have Zelciar on a Catherine this game, Fuj.
I feel more immersed in this game than any other game after that intro, Humanist. Thank you for that.
I do too, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, we're in it. We have a Catherine with Dragon Blood in lane. What are we going to see with this? Ringo's ready to come rock and roll and pop some damage on these heroes.
There's the stun. There's your Dragon Blood. Best Chuck getting lit up. Deja vu of game one. These are just Immortals things that Immortals do when playing up against Team Solo Mid.
I feel like it's a bit risky for Flash to not have an Iron Guard here, just seeing the amount of potential damage that can come out. Samuel rotations not being able to really heal up, but opting for an invade again.
Drifting Dark, Ordained says, I'm about to troll you out super hard. And nothing really comes of that right there. So Flash gets the light shield early in response to Samuel, is that what's going on?
I think he's just trying to get to the fountain quickly, but we have to think that we're going to lose pressure again, right? So one of the critiques that we had to give TSM last game was that this Finn just doesn't allow them rotational pressure, and we saw once again Immortals getting the best of the early game rotation, being able to push in because Finn is having to back up along with Vox and lane. So Zelciar, DNZO really doing work on that early lane pressure, able to drop down. We'll have to see if they can actually do it again to keep Von C from farming at this middle tree end. But I like this. I like the confidence Immortals has. It's good. Putting pressure on TSM, not something we see every day.
Yeah, TSM taking a lot of pressure. Zio twirling silver, moving forward. Best Chuck taking a lot of damage. Zio's onto him. 2 more attacks would have taken him there. But Von C finds the Ordained. Zio, can he stand his ground? Yes, he can. T-Tigers from the bottom side, almost finding the damage to take Von C down. No first blood just yet. T-Tiger is going to clean up 1 lane minion there. Zio's going to go ahead and port back. It's going to be Zelciar porting back as well. Everybody's just going to heal up, grab some items, and get right back out.
A gentleman's handshake, no deaths, so we all get to go back, heal up a little bit. So close, though, but that's one reason why we say, like, 2 points in polite company from Finn early game is so impressively good. It just really makes sure that people cannot cut through that extra barrier that you get, the fortified health there coming from that ability. So I love seeing it from Flash X on this Finn. Always been a big fan of those double points. Quibble just doesn't really give you a whole lot in the early game, so I think ability optimization there is really saving Best Chuck's life. And of course, now that everyone's back on the map, we'll have to see if Immortals continues this pressure. I definitely think they will. For the last 2 rotations, we actually saw T-Tigers invade. This time he's coming up to lane, perhaps looking for something a little here on Best Chuck.
Man, it feels like if they had waited about a second and a half, T-Tigers could have followed up, and he was moving into a pretty good position. You had called it out, T-Tigers. The Malice, the Verdict coming through, just kind of harassing, but this is T-Tigers just kind of buying some time, waiting for his jungle rotation to come back up. Drifting Dark is out. Malice, the Verdict's really not quite connecting. It's nice positioning from Flash and Best Chuck, really. And a little bit of damage starts to come out onto this turret, but Von C making his way up from the jungle. Zelciar stunned up with the Ordained. Immortals moving back. Flash just using that polite company, as you said. It's level 2, and he's just trying to spam it out.
They just don't have kill potential for TSM, so everything they do here is very much focused in on just keeping Immortals out of their lane bush, keeping them from pushing. Immortals maybe overextending a little bit there, trying to get the stun in on Best Chuck. They don't have sustain, so this polite company really going to outtrade them now that we're heading into the 4-minute mark of the game. So they do need to be careful. T-Tigers is not there. They definitely don't want to be diving that turret. Some quick turnaround potential with Ordained from the jungle there.
Yeah, some quick turnaround potential for sure. T-Tigers does make his way up, though, and buy a bit of space for Zio and Zelciar to drop down. They're going to do some purchasing here. T-Tigers just stacking up a bunch of CP here early on. Not going to go ahead and save up to finish an item, and he's going to pick up a battery as well. This is just him getting as much CP as possible so he can get in there and have an impact.
Yeah, I definitely like it. Last time we actually saw him go with armor in game 1 and some cooldown. This time just going all flat, crystal power, some light shield. Definitely think that is the respect they need to give. If DNZO is close enough to be doing damage, then he's close enough to get Ordained, and I think they're comfortable with that. Pretty big chunk of damage there on the turret, though.
Zio living on the edge, hanging out here. Best Chuck actually getting lit up pretty good, but Flash is back. Flash does Fountain, Zelciar does as well. Ordained onto T-Tigers. That's going to be a nice Oblivion, puts Von C to sleep, but Zio, you got to be careful, dude. Fearsome Shade comes out here. Flash, X, and crew able to grab a first blood. Von C credited with that kill, and that's going to be coming through. First kill at 5 minutes here, but it's not Immortals striking first blood this time. Things have been flipped around. A bit surprising. It kind of felt like an obvious engagement coming out. T-Tigers is going to try and force Flash out of this dominant position. Flash, he does such a good job holding down the mustache brush, which just keeps any rotations from happening between jungle. That's the bottleneck between jungle and the lane. Flash doing a good job there, but T-Tiger's forcing him out.
Yeah, I mean, Von C finding a 402 damage and powered mojo, but they are leaving their turret exposed. Oh, watch out, Zio.
Dude, as Quibble, Polite Company, and Best Chuck bouncing a couple attacks onto him, and Zio's down very low already, and he does not have much sustain. You talked about this before. Zelciar is not helping him sustain right now, and it's kind of a tough place to be in if you walk out all the way from base, and then suddenly you're down at 40% health.
Yeah, I definitely think because Immortals chose not to rotate Samuel through the lane in the early game, the fact that Flash X went for a Fountain Rush instead of Contract actually ended up working out in their favor. It's a bit of a risk, Definitely think it paid off, though. Now that Best Chuck has his Poison Shiv, he's going to be able to life sustain quite well underneath that Polite Company. So a lot of pressure from TSM looking to go on Zeo here, but not level 6 from Flash, so a little bit of time before we get that Force Accord on the map, but it is impending. So Immortals needs to be careful about that. Pretty far away from Crucible at this point.
Yeah, they've got to be careful of Von C as well right now. Von C with Shatterglass. Actually doing some pretty significant damage when he's able to connect with some of those bad mojos. Ringo's got to be careful. Flash moves forward to the front line. Bad Mojo not doing too much to T-Tigers, of course. I don't know if that one was actually empowered up there. Ordained comes out as well, another Bad Mojo, but Von C low on energy. They need to get out of here. Flash, he's gonna have to use his boots. Suddenly Best Chuck and Flash just find themselves on the back foot, and now Immortals move forward into a superior position. The turret's not incredibly healthy, so let's see what they do. Do they drop down in the jungle, or they just take this turret out?
I definitely think they should look at the turret. I mean, Best Chuck cannot defend this, so it's a pretty free objective pickup. We'll open the entire map up for them. They should be able to get out of here as well. Once again, no Forced Accord available to them. So I have to see what TSM does. They're looking to put the pressure on Humanist.
They have Drifting Dark. T-Tigers, can he throw it? The Malice and Verdict just come out, but they've already lost Zelsior. Zelsior's doing a good job to frontline for his team. Fearsome Shade's gonna cause Immortals to think twice about that and go ahead and disengage off of that. Threat damage right there. Zelsior, I was about to comment on his positioning. He was holding the brush down, so when he saw Von C rotate up, he's the one that's getting caught and he's Ordained, and it's been working out pretty well for them, but in that engagement, he took a little bit too much damage too fast.
Yeah, I mean, so he just essentially straight up almost bought his Crucible just then. But what I was going to talk about prior to this, and something people have to remember, is that you can hold your Fountain till yourself or your ally is at super low health to maximize the potential heal. But if you don't have defensive items like armor and light shield, your effective health is actually pretty low. So if you use a fountain too late, oftentimes you just get popped while the fountain is still ticking. So Zelsior waiting a little too long there, not having any defensive items, just still really easy to kill with the fountain use. So I'd like to see him use it a little bit earlier. Now that he has Crucible, he does have quite a bit more health. So have quite a bit more fountain health ticking when he does hit it, but just something to keep in mind here as you try to walk the edge of the cliff, if you will, to maximize that item usage.
Oh, you know, Zelsior is that kind of player. A nice Hellfire Brew coming in with the Merciless Pursuit. Oblivion is out, but they've lost T-Tigers super quick. Nice job by TSM to go ahead and focus that Samuel down. Wait for it comes out. We'll connect. This is Zelsior on the run with Zeo moving back. They'll be able to get underneath their turret. They lost that Samuel super quick. And now TSM going to look to apply a little pressure, see if they can take something else. A big Bad Mojo coming out. Von C, of course, it's the big Bad Mojo. Flash, he's able to... No, he didn't quite drop that turret aggro, so Best Chuck's getting trolled out there a little bit. And this could be actually pretty bad for them. Flash taking big damage. Fearsome Shade on to Zelsior. Zelsior will go down. T-Tigers is back out. Just a little too late for everybody's liking there. And Best Chuck should be going down there. He'll connect. He's still in that Drifting Dark. Look, oh no! The lane minions trolling T-Tigers out. He just wants the Mouse and Vert to connect, but Von C hit him with a Bad Mojo, slowing him down. Von C thinking about dipping back around. Flash playing some mind games here, just kind of giving him that Polite Company, keeping it in range. T-Tigers, another Drifting Dark. Malice, Verdict, Corrupted Genius. Malice, oh, the Verdict can't quite connect. Dude, he is getting to the point where this is going to get pretty scary.
I love the confidence coming out of T-Tigers there, just knowing that he can continue to put the pressure on. Does unfortunately lose quite a bit of damage on Von C there with the lane minions blocking some of those empowered Malice and Verdicts, but still coming back in, really looking to get the work done. But he has to be careful. T-Tigers does not have any shielding, so if he gets caught in some of those empowered Bad Mojo and abilities coming out of Batiste, he just gets popped like we saw in the last team fight.
Yeah, he's got to abuse that range if possible. Force the Cord, they're going to go ahead and block that one off. Nice Crucible from Zelsior. Drifting Dark comes back the other way. Malice and Verdict, but Flash X body blocking. Oblivion and Hellfire Brew going to come through, but a nice Blast Shimmer block as TSM stand their ground. Zelsior dropping low, throws the Fountain. Both teams trading Zeo, trying to find the damage onto Best Chuck. Merciless Pursuit and Stormguard on the front line. Zelsior helps find the kill onto Von C. And a great job there. I mean, that's one thing that, whoa! A nice Malice and Verdict. Best Chuck, one more shot, he'd go down here. Flash is low as well. Zelsior, he's coming around the bottom side. Can he get it? The reflex, the be able to. Best Chuck finds the kill. Best Chuck, what a player. But you understand why they chase that down. T-Tigers, oh, T-Tigers. Oh, he's one more attack. Crystal Sentry's able to get him. Zeo's like, yo, team, what?
Zio, he's just like, don't worry, guys. I got this Trent. Don't worry at all. I'm going to come up, push the wave, take some of the jungle. You guys figure out what you want to do down there. Whew, that was what a great reflex coming from Best Chuck to just stay alive long enough to take down Zelciar. But good guy, Crystal Sentry coming in clutch, picking up that kill on T Tigers. So basically breaking even there for those jungle 2v2 trades. Dio coming out on top, though, with some of the farm here, sitting 105 CS to Best Chuck's 94. So this is where you want to be with Ringo. Pretty sure Zio's happy to let his team duel it out in the jungle while he farms. But I love it. Team fights, everything right to the last point of HP, Humanist.
Oh, man. That was great. I was really hoping that we were going to see something like that. It was very clear they were going to chase Best Chuck. Choke point threat here as they move up. There's another stun. Zelciar going to stun up. Cord connects on the T Tigers because he was blocked up. Hellfire Brew kind of connects. Yeah, it does on Devontae. Best Chuck getting lit up. D'Enzio stands his ground, stutter stepping his balls off. Flash X coming through. D'Enzio gets taken down with a quibble. Zelciar, he's doing such a great job for his team. He's going to be stunned. Ordained Bad Mojo almost connecting. And they trade 1 for 1. At the end of that one, that was a crazy little fight there. But T Tigers, he's doing such a great job just hanging out at the range, as you mentioned before. It's super important for him. And how about the stutter stepping on Zio in that fight?
I mean, going toe-to-toe with Ringo, you can't really do that as Vox, especially with the type of Vox builds that are coming out right now. Ringo's just going to have more upfront burst. Vox is kind of more of the sustained, a little burst here and there. So, I mean, we're definitely can't do that, Best Chuck. You got to watch out. Of course, D'Enzio sticking around a little too long, gets dunked by the old quibble there from Flash X. So good on Flash for finding that pickup. But, of course, ideally, we just see a lot of sparring, not a lot of objectives going down here, Humanist. So these teams just testing each other to the limit. Would have liked to have seen Von C curve that Bad Mojo for the kill there. Perhaps Angelina not teaching him how to curve his bullet quite effectively. We'll have to see how it goes in the future.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I mean, maybe Flash watch this replay back and we'll see Von C with some curved Bad Mojo coming in next week.
Curved Mojo.
Curved Mojo. Let's see if anybody could do it. Flares coming out from both teams. They know exactly where each other are. Except for Zio. Zio's in the top side here. He could surprise Best Chuck if they want to just go and light this Vox up. Zio can just move forward with boots, twirling silver, and just take him down. Actually, Zio doesn't have boots active right now. That's kind of a thing. Like as a Ringo player, twirling silver is great, gives you a little bit of move speed. But it's so nice to have your boots ready to just be able to chase down to finish someone off or reposition.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, Von C right now sitting at a level advantage is his primary point of defense against this Ringo. But as soon as D'Enzio closed the level gap, if he gets to 12, Von C does not pick up any armor. He's going to delete him, opting for an all-burst build on this Ringo. So here we go. Immortals is looking for some action.
Oh, this feels sloppy. Drifting Dark's just going to cruise on through. TSM hanging out, holding their positioning. We talk about the vision game. Right now, I feel like these teams pretty even in that regard. As they have a scout trap here or there on both sides down in the item shop in this brush, and flares coming out. They know where they are. Flash X able to clear that one out. Immortals now as 3, thinking about moving forward, and they're just kind of posturing around the gold miner at this point. I'm not sure how this is going to play out. Forced to court, blocked off. It's Crucible out of Zelciar. He also has a reflex block as well. Hellfire Brew from Zio channeled onto Von C. Von C, he's going to be stunned up. They have a lot of damage moving forward. Exactly what you called. They just focused Von C down. Blast Trimmer connects onto 2. They move forward. Flash is going down. Best Chuck. Can he get out of here? No, he cannot. Sonic zooms, but Tiggs catches him on the tail side. An ace for Immortals, 15 minutes in. And how about that timing? How about that Kraken timing right there?
I mean, it's almost as if it was immaculately planned. Humanist here, taking the ace, getting the Kraken, getting the tier 2 turret prior to Kraken as well. This is a really big push coming out of Immortals. Great team fight. But like we said, they just, even at level 11, D'Enzio was still able to just chunk through Von C. And when you're in the 3v2, it just doesn't work with the amount of sustain coming out of Samuel. A nice pickup there for that ace as well, with just the tip of the verdict empowered taking out Best Chuck and Ace. So great team fight. We'll have to see what they do with this Kraken push. A definite choke point turret will go down, but can they get more off of it? It's pretty tough to push up against a Finn composition, so this will be pretty interesting work here coming from Immortals. Do they go for it, Humans? Do they try to finish with this Kraken? Or do they just play it safe, take the choke point, and back out?
We'll see. Flash throwing out the port right there. What's he moving back? I don't see it. Oh, he's grabbing an infusion real quick before they fight. Choke point turret dropping low. Forced to cord. Blocked off once again. Zelsiar doing a great job. The turret's down. Blast Shimmer blocked. No, it actually connected onto Von C. That was kind of weird there. Wait for it. It's going to come out. They need to get some damage down on the Kraken. But Hellfire Brew comes through. Lands. Every single one of those is on Von C landing. But they just burned the insto down. Fearsome Shade right into the wall. Von C, a great job there. Coming through. Tiggs and Zelsiar are going to hang around. They've already burned the fountain, though. Ordained is out. They're going to reflex that one, moving backwards. T-Tiger's in the Drifting Dark, and I think they realize it's time to get out of here.
Time to get out, but they do only lose one for the price of 2 turrets. I think that's probably a trade that they'll be okay with. Obviously, your crystal turret's just not giving quite as much gold for the kill, but it does put them in a position with a Ringo to really do some damage, even potential backdoor opportunities coming out from Immortals here. So that could get pretty exciting, pretty spicy as we move forward, but we talked about it, Humanist. It's pretty hard to finish a game.
Oh, the finish!
Oh, but it will potentially be TSM's opportunity to turn it around if they can get another Fearsome Shade like they did in the last team fight. That could be all they need to really focus down a target of their choosing. Dienzio opting to go for a Crucible, does not have any shield, does not have any armor, so his positioning is his best defense.
Why did that Fearsome Shade connect so hard in that last fight? I mean, I think Zelsiar had blocked off the Force to Cord with Crucible.
That's what happened. Forced the cord and was blocked with Crucible, so Fearsome Shade was just basically free to run havoc on the team. And then, of course, Flash actually blocked the silence from Catherine with his Aegis, but did not use Crucible, so that's why Von C got silenced on that base entry team fight. But it's hard to go through that choke point against any composition that has AoE barriers coming out, like Polite Company, the zone control from Von C, but the team's just poking at each other, just causing each other to use all sorts of things. Boot coming out and Reflex from T-Tigers. TSM sees this and looks to push up.
Blast Trimmer onto 3, Zelsiar, and Godly Blast Trimmer. Hellfire Brew connects. Best Chuck getting lit up by Zio, but a nice reposition. Von C turns around, wait for it. Zio, he's in the, not the position that he wants to be. Zio, you need to get back. That's where Zelsiar should actually be. Zelsiar, he's just going to try and run by some time as T-Tigers needs to get himself out of here. What an absolute loss there for Immortals. That felt like Dienzio had one thing in his head and his team had something else in theirs.
I mean, we have to be so careful when you get to this point of the game because Flash can start really blocking up the damage coming out of Samuel, and if Dienzio is getting ahead of Samuel, the damage isn't connecting on the same target. We're at our same spot we were in the last game. Watch out here, T-Tigers. You can't do it. I don't believe the 1v3 is gonna be it, man.
Ace.
Down 535 from the bad mojo there, Humanist. T-Tigers trying to help defend the turret, but honestly, with him going down, this is very bad because now they cannot contest Kraken. If he would have stayed alive, I don't think TSM would be able to take this Kraken so easily, but it does look like Immortals is potentially going to move down to try to stop it. Oh, or not.
Or not. I mean,
this is actually not a great call from Immortals. Perhaps they think the amount of damage potential coming out is going to be too much to get there in time, but just a little bit of misinformation. I mean, we have Batiste and Vox without any kind of shred or ramp damage on the Kraken, so it does take quite some time. I believe Catherine probably could have went in there, threw a Blast Trimmer out at least, try to steal it, but playing extremely safe, saying we'd rather defend than get picked off again.
Yeah, that's actually pretty interesting. I feel like Zelsiar's playstyle would lend itself to getting in there with the Catherine and trying to steal it. So it makes you wonder how much this is like, that was really a team decision there.
Yeah, we have to think that perhaps, with T-Tigers going down to the second turret, they're just like, we can't, afford to lose anyone else during this Kraken push. We need everyone alive to defend at this choke point. We'll have to see how well they can hold this push off. Flash X quite a bit far forward here, but just looking to make sure to get some pressure down.
Another nice Crucible. Zelsiar blocking off that Force to Cord. Zio holding his own Crucible. Kraken healthy for TSM and marching forward. Zio, can you find the damage you need in this fight? Let's see if TSM hang around. This is one of your defensive Hellfire Brews, just gonna help the zone out while you get a little damage down on your Kraken there. Is TSM gonna hang around and wait to see how this damage starts to come out? It's not coming out incredibly quick for Immortals. Malice and Verdict trying to come through, trying to stack up this Broken Myth, doing a pretty good job, and Flash is going to be like, okay, well, he's reached the point where we're going to go into reposition with our War Treads here.
Yeah, I mean, I like the strategy that TSM used just then. So they actually don't have the greatest sieging composition. They're much better at more kind of stationary team fights around a central point, around the Batiste, around the Finn combo. They're very good at kiting backwards and defending, but what the team composition is not very good at doing is moving forward and really getting explosive damage off onto objectives. So I like the fact that they just kind of walked back and forth in the safe zone, forced out some ultimates, just distracted Immortals long enough for a nice clean turret kill there. So nothing risked, but definitely some rewards gained from that type of crack and push.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a really good analysis, and something that the best players do better than everybody else is just knowing how far to walk up right to the edge where you're going to pull somebody's attention off of an objective like the Kraken who's getting damage down onto the turrets. And once you have their attention to back off, just wasting their time like that, essentially not even doing anything. It's just positioning game. So LCR stunned up by that Ordained is going to be able to block off the Force Cord anyway. Hellfire Brew blocked off by Von Z as Immortals look to move forward. Drifting Dark, Zeo, he's on to Flash. Flash doing a good job to body block for his team. As you said, once again, this Finn doing a very good job this game, which is body blocking those Malice and Verdicts. And they're not clumped up to the point where it's splashing or anything like that. It's just Flash just kind of absorbing it. But they're really hanging around here. Zeo, twirling silver. Best check on the top side. Fearsome Shade blocked off. Crystal Sentry wants some. Blast Trimmer going to connect onto two. Best check moves forward. He takes out Zeo. Zeo, they've been able to trade, so they lose both of their carries, but Zelsier is going to fall. Crystal Sentry doing good work here. But T-Tigers, he's low on energy. Can he get some work done with this Crystal Sentry? This is tough to watch Crystal Sentry go down. There's your Drifting Dark. Come on, Malice and Verdict. Come on, there's your Corrupted Genius. That's Malice and Verdict off the mark. And Von C actually just a little too tanky here. With the Aegis and a little bit of light armor, he's quite durable. I mean, plus the Finn and his own sustain through these fights.
Yeah, I mean, essentially there's no way for T-Tigers to really pick up the kill here, but TSM's still on the hunt. Not going to find him, though, as they do choose the upper jungle route there, so T-Tiger's going to get out pretty clean, but we're seeing the effect of Ringo not going any ramp damage with a breaking point, any kind of armor shred for Best Chuck. There's, no Bonesaw on the map, so this early game build coming out of Dienzio on this Ringo that really got them so far because of mistakes that Immortals is making throughout the game is costing them now in these late game team fights, just not actually finding the damage, and Best Chuck actually hunting Ringo in these team fights, just running through everything. Poor
Zeo. He blocks the Force Cord, but the Ordained, it times out. The Blast Trimmer comes through. They block off the Fearsome Shade. Zeo, he's getting the damage. Best Chuck dropping low. A Sonic Zoom. Polite Company keeping him alive here. Is your Hellfire Brew. Von C moves forward with his boots, though he's locked onto Zeo. Zeo finds the kill. Zeo finds the kill on the bottom side. They get Best Chuck as well. Now Flash is on the run. It's T-Tigers traded 1 for 2 as Immortals come out on top of that fight. What an amazing trade there. I thought for sure Zeo was going to go down.
I mean, Zeo with his fancy footwork on the backline actually dodged the mojo coming out of Von C and almost died to the Treant, but I don't think it's going to be enough.
Dude, they take
here
Flash
now
to get the ace. They're going to end it, Fuji. They're going to end it. Flash tries to turn down and gets the Atlas off. He's just walking the edge. You talked about these guys just walking the line. The whole time walking the line, all of these players. That's why they're so exciting to watch. But Immortals are going to come through. They're going to take this series 2-0 over TSM. And they needed this so badly.
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly the kind of game you want as Immortals to kick off your Saturday at 2-0 over the top seed team. Really, really great work. It's just, so close, Humanist. So many team fights coming right down to just a few HP. These players really showing up today. Really impressive stuff.
I mean, what was it? We saw last week, Stormycross comes in. They take TSM out, right? Mm-hmm. This week, we have Zelsier step in for Immortals. They take TSM out. Yeah, maybe a little bit of a trend here. Well, congratulations, Immortals. We have more amazing series coming your way. But to go ahead and break that one down with a little bit of analysis.